Good morning, good morning, good morning. It's a new week. Will it feature more of the same? Oh, that's a good question. Hello, everyone. I'm wave meteorologist Brian Good. Welcome to Snow Talk, wave weather blog update here on this Monday, the 13th of January, although it feels like it should already be like late March at this point. Last week was such a long week, right? As we're still trying to get back into our routines, but the weather is not going to be ready to do that. It's giving us some teases. We had a nice tease yesterday. That was really nice, actually, to be able to get at least some of the work done, although a lot of refreezing. My front porch, I had it all cleared out, and then a lot of the ice, or at least water from the rooftop, the snow melt, covered my porch right back, and now I have a thick layer of ice. Almost broke my neck walking out the door this morning. So please be careful, because we're back below freezing again. And now that we're back below freezing, I don't see us getting it back above it again until sometime on Friday. So at least we have some periods where we're trying to get above freezing, but the majority of the 10-day is once again below it. And now here's the thing. With such Arctic air, it comes into question on snow chances. Yes, there are snow chances in the outlook, but anytime we talk about extreme cold weather coming our way, true Arctic air, usually the snow chances are not as high as you would think they are, because we end up being in a more of a drier atmosphere. So you almost want to be right on the edge of that if you want more of your bigger snowfall totals, which I don't know if even snow lovers want that or not. Maybe you do. Maybe you do. Maybe you've had your fill. But I'm sure the ones that do not like snow are certainly over it. Even the snow lovers, well, I'm kind of on the fence on that one right now. All right, let's get into the snowboard. We'll start there and begin with what looks to be only just 2 chances for now. I'll keep the snow chance in for Tuesday. I think a lot of you already heard about this. We'll cover that. It is not a big system. It's not a big system, but it is all about timing, of course. More on that in a second. And then as we get into the weekend, we get back into a snowy pattern after a brief little warm spell that will be coming our way as we get into the at least end portion early on to the weekend. But the snowfall so far for just the month of January, not the winter, but the month of January alone, is at 14 inches. That is now the 8th snowiest January on record. And guys, that's not an easy record to get into a top 10 list of. The month of January in our area has got some, blockbusters that are in it, right? The 70s, the 90s. Are in this list here. So to get 2025, you can tell, is this the only one we've had, I believe, since the turn of the century? Yeah, since the turn of the century, this has been the first one to make the list. So this stands out. It has been a long time since we've had this level of cold and snowfall. And we're just barely really into winter. We got a long way to go, right? Snow still on the ground, of course. We lost some of that pack. I would say we've got an average about 3 to 4 inches now on the ground after having at one point close to 12 that we had on the ground nearly about a week ago. with that snowpack that was in the area. But we've had some compacting, melting, blah, blah, blah. But that snowpack is likely still going to be around all week here. It's not going to go away. And those snow piles, which, boy, they're looking really frightening right now because they're no longer the pretty snow piles anymore. They look terrifying on the sides of the interstate. Well, those things can last like 2 months, it seems like. So yeah. All right, as I mentioned, temperatures are dropping. We're at 30 here in Louisville. We are back below freezing. Some of you are barely above it to the east of us. Meanwhile, Seymour's down to 21. So yes, it has gotten colder, and we'll likely get a couple more degrees colder as we head into this afternoon. So we started off with temperatures yesterday afternoon into the lower 40s. We made it to 42. Sound like a heat wave. And then temperatures held steady overnight, and then it's just in the last couple of hours, you see the drop that has happened below freezing. And again, we may still slip a few more degrees this afternoon, but the wind is going to stay elevated. So the wind chill, no doubt, will feel like the lower 20s all day long today, even some teens for those of you into Indiana. So a cold Monday for sure outside. We can see the snowpack again after the morning clouds have drifted off to the east. So at least we're going to get some sunshine around the area today. That will help at least induce some melting in the sun ray zones of the area, but still be cautious again of that refreezing. A lot of it is right there on the edge of the interstate ramps. A couple of slick spots, if you noticed this morning, are still out there. Just depends on how close you get to the edge. Try not to get too close to the edge of where that snowpack is melting. Pay extra attention and be careful with braking and accelerating when you see something that looks like it could be shiny or not. Don't take the chance on it. Just use some caution, especially if you're away from areas that have been treated. Side roads, your neighborhoods. My neighborhood road is still a mess. It's still, I think, maybe 5 miles per hour is the best you can do on my road, as it's still a solid sheet of ice. So even though we've had temperatures above freezing, that ice right at the ground level, it takes just a little bit longer. And if the sun doesn't hit it, it takes longer to really melt that off. I got a feeling the rain we're going to get, and we are going to get rain later this week, will do a big number on a lot of the snow, though, and help things out. But as we look from space, you can see that snowpack reveal itself again across Indiana. It looks like the edge of it is roughly, that was not far from Muhlenberg County, other side of Edmonson and Barron County in Kentucky, and a little more staggered from there. Then you get pick back up into it, by the way, down into areas of the deep south for a little bit, a few little patches of snow, still down into Alabama today. But majority of your snowpack is, of course, mainly off to the north. So where do we go from here? Well, the cold front that moved in about 2 hours ago, that has set the stage now for us to stay cold for the next couple of days, and we'll get another reinforcing shot as we head into tomorrow. That'll be moving in. There's your snowpack from space again, kind of staggered across areas of the Mississippi Valley and the Ohio River Valley. Mainly rain, though, across the southeast corner, but nothing big going on in the eastern part of the United States. Everything fairly quiet. So here's Futurecast, because our next system we're going to be watching is a clipper. It's going to scoot on by tomorrow. I would say about this time tomorrow, it should be snowing across Indiana, and it may be snowing right here into Louisville. It should be very close to us, but we'll have something on the radar at this time tomorrow. Futurecast shows will stay dry this afternoon. Clouds do flow back in. Now, here's the thing. This particular model, which is the HER, has been very aggressive on low temperatures. Several of the models, in fact, have been doing this. At times, taking us way below zero every single time we have a cold night, only to see us drop to 10, some cases 15 degrees warmer than what the model says, even with the snowpack around. So it's been fascinating to watch how the models just really want to keep driving us into the very, very cold numbers, but we've been staying above that. So this particular model wants to do that again. It wants to take us down to zero or below zero. Now, I can't rule that out, because we have seen some spots get to that level. Meade County, parts of Indiana, and to Washington County. We have seen that happen. So, yes, it can happen. But the majority of you watching, and I think even the city of Louisville, we should stay above the threshold that you see here. But still very, very cold tonight and cold tomorrow morning. Temperatures in single digits in many spots by early on your Tuesday. And that cold ground sets the stage for that light snow to move in. So snow ratios are going to be roughly 15 to up to 25 to 1 as we move into about late morning tomorrow. Now, this is just like we saw last week when we had the like an Arctic boundary clipper came to the area, tried to squeeze out as much as it could. You know what? It was the snow ratio, I think, was 40 to 1 with that light snowfall. So we ended up with several 1-inch totals in the area, even though we're only picking up 3/400ths of an inch of liquid. That translated to about an inch, inch and a half in some cases. I think this will be similar. I don't think it's going to snow all day like the last one did. It was like nonstop snow showers coming in from the north and just kept repeating themselves over and over and over. This is a little different in that sense. There is a dry punch that comes in behind it. So I think it's only a period that we'll have of snowfall. But I think while it's moving through, it will be certainly a snow globe. And certainly can stick, no problem there, obviously, with temperatures into the teens and 20s. But keep in mind, the wind will be blowing around, so a lot of this is going to be a dry, fluffy snow and will be flying around. Those snow showers will then drop off as we head into tomorrow afternoon. Even some late-day sun will be possible, and then we're back into the very cold temps again on Wednesday. Again, this model wants to take us to 10 to 15 below zero. We're not ready to jump on that much of a cold blast, but I do think we have the coldest of the entire 10-day right now will be your Wednesday morning, where I think single digits in some spots could hit zero for sure. All right, here's your snowfall forecast for tomorrow. We'll give it roughly a 9 to 5 window for snow showers to be flying by. No doubt the more north you are, the greater potential versus more south. So IE64 north, fair dividing line. Again, light amounts of about an inch or less, but we'll need to watch it. What happens after this? Well, as I mentioned, we get into the weekend where we got that warm surge. It kicks in. This does look to be rain, beginning roughly sunset Friday afternoon, evening, and then should be out of here by midday on Saturday. But here's the problem. As this scoots on by, this is a true Arctic boundary that is sliding into the country. There will be some type of low pressure that will develop along that. What we've got to figure out is where on this boundary will this develop at? Will it be to where the front is still in our area? If so, a potential snowstorm could just develop right over us as we head into Sunday and early next week. If the cold air is very aggressive, that's going to be way down to the south. We just don't know that answer yet because we don't know the speed and the depth yet of how intense that cold wave will be as we into Saturday and into Sunday. For now, we're just going to go with rain and then snow chances building Saturday night into Sunday. We've got to give this more time in the oven, guys. It needs more time. But it is a classic setup to get a snow event to develop on an Arctic boundary. Here's the thing. If we miss that one, there is another chance for one to develop. But I think this one may be way to the south based on how deep the cold air is. Now, if the models are wrong and this cold air does not dive as far south as what is indicated, then that snow track will be a little more north, and it's back in our conversation again. But right now, I think it's more of a conversation for maybe down into Georgia and Florida. Yikes. Something we'll watch and see how that trends. Way too early to get into specifics, but it looks very, very cold. This could even be the coldest of the entire winter so far. And there could be even another one beyond this that shows up in the last few days of January. All right, let me get right into the 10-day, and then we'll get to some of your questions real quick. And then, Myra, you got a report coming up?
You're good.
You good? Okay. Myra, I'm sorry, hanging out here. Let's see. There are the numbers again, single digits. As we head into Tuesday night and Wednesday, notice the numbers are much warmer than we've got compared to the modeling. Some of you away from the city may be certainly colder than that. Either way, it's one of those drip your faucets type of setups here for the next few days. So keep that in mind. Keep an eye on your energy settings in your home and everything. And then there's the warm spell back into the 40s with that rain Friday night into Saturday. And then we'll just go with snow and then cold highs in the teens as we head into the long term there. All right. Are you still concerned about the 20th? Not quite. I think right now we just need to monitor and see how things are going to go with how that develops. Again, I want to see how that Arctic wave digs here for the weekend. If it digs to the point where it's still close to us, then yeah, there will be some concern for snow that will be growing for the holiday weekend. But we're not there yet. Right now, it's just on the table. Confidence is quite low. The data is actually all over the place. But if anything, it has increased compared to the last 24 hours. Let's see. Hello, Andrew. How you doing? Yes, this Saturday will be, well, Friday night and Saturday will be rain. That will help clear out at least some of the snowpack there and help improve the roads. But it's, as far as the salt in your cars, it's going to take some time. Rennie, any chance of ice storms? That's always possible in Arctic air masses, but it's usually in these cases, it's when Arctic air is leaving town that we have to worry about ice events. And so right now, we've just got to monitor that transition when we get these warm spells. Don't see any right now, though, in the outlook. But February is usually known more for ice than it is for snow around here. So I hope that answers your question as well, Joseph. Usually that's the way things trend for February. It's a little more icy than snowy. All right, I'm sorry it's a short one here today, guys, but I got a lot of things to get caught up on here for the week. Always Monday, the blog is always a little shorter anyway, just because we're just laying the groundwork down. And as the week goes on, we'll get into more of the nuts and bolts here. But one thing I just want you guys to be aware of, getting colder. We're below freezing. Watch out for slick spots. We'll monitor the light snow tomorrow, and then we'll just see what happens here with whether or not we get a wave to develop on that Arctic front this weekend or not. And it's not a lock right now. But the rain part, I think, is likely to at least happen. Okay? All right, guys. Take care of each other. Take care of yourselves. And I will see you guys coming up on midday at, 11 o'clock here this morning as with a full rundown. We'll see how those numbers are trending for the weekend stats. Okay? Take care. See you guys on the flip side.